Back in 2011, I nearly died because of this work culture, this toxic work culture. I will get into the story in just a little bit because I'm almost at the gym. And it wasn't until a little bit later that I found out that this was all related to stress. Stress caused by my work, stress that I put on myself. And it still took me about 2 more years to basically say, fuck you, I'm leaving, I need to live my life, I deserve better than this. And I think that is what a lot of Americans are going through right now. They've realized that this American dream and the work culture is really messed up. So I'm at the gym right now, so I'm gonna go work out for an hour and then I will come back and then we are going to sit down and talk about the toxic American culture because I have some things to share and I want to share my personal story as well.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me.
That was really good. So now we're gonna head home. I'm gonna sit down with you guys after I shower and talk about this workaholic thing. If you're from USA, I know for a fact you will resonate with this. Unless you're one of those corporate assholes, then you won't. Nothing is ever easy that I discuss on this channel lately, do I? And honestly, I've never really been the type of guy who tippy-toes around stuff or walks on eggshells. I just speak my mind and I speak my heart. Yeah, so let's go home and let's talk about this stuff.
Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate.
Did you know that in the United States, 120,000 deaths occur due to work-related stress? And $190 billion are spent in healthcare related to work-related stress. And if you take the entire sum spent in the United States of America on healthcare, about 5 to 8% of that is spent on work-related healthcare costs. Stress-induced health issues due to work. And stress in the workforce here leads to depression. And $26 billion yearly are spent on depression, which is a direct cause of stress from work. As a result of all of this going on for the past many years, people are finally waking up. There's a huge shift in the United States of America right now with the workforce. People are finally waking up and they're basically saying, fuck this. My life is so much more important than to work in a shitty job with shitty benefits for shitty pay. People now are demanding better pay, flexibility, more childcare, and safer conditions. And why did this shift happen? It happened in 2020. With everything that's going on in the world right now, people had an opportunity to work from home, and a lot of people were let go from their jobs. So that's when they realized that no one is really safe in the workforce here in the United States of America. People that devoted years and years of their life to work, they were let go immediately. And a lot without severance package. And no one had their back. Not their employer, not the big companies that they worked for, and not even the government. The government finally stepped in and paid them a very, very small amount that you could barely even scrape off of. And this is the shift that is happening right now, that has been happening, and people have woken up from this horrible dream, which for the longest time has been called the Great American Dream. Also, one of the topics that I discussed in a couple of videos ago about the American Dream. And today I want to talk about an extension of that, which is the toxic American work culture. But before we dive into that, I want to talk to you guys about a personal story, which I think will probably resonate with some of the Americans. If not, then it will at least set the tone of where this is heading. And for my European family, I think you would probably just find this entertaining, to say the least. Just like millions of Americans out there with my generation and the future generations, we all grew up in the hustle culture. You work hard and you can achieve anything that you want. You can be anything that you want. And that was ingrained inside of my head. I wanted to go to university, get an education, and then hit the ground running and work hard. So I went to university, got my education, had my major, took 2 minors, and went off into the corporate world working. 3 years later, I landed my dream job. Now, what was my dream job? It was only money related. That's why it was my dream job. Otherwise, it really had nothing to do with what I really wanted to do in life. And everything that I did in my life was about work. Fast forward, in 2011, I was on a business trip and I could not breathe. I took myself into the hospital and it ended up with a pulmonary embolism. And when I was laying on this hospital bed, I asked the nurse, what is happening to me? Do I need to be concerned? And she told me, I think it's best that you call your loved ones. Someone should be here with you. And then I asked her, oh my God, will I make it through the night? And she said, well, let's hope for the best. I made it through the night, I was alive, and my condition started to improve. And literally a day later, I was logged in on the laptop, sitting in my hospital bed, having meetings, and my boss got on the phone with me and he said, I'm really impressed with you. And now when I think about this whole conversation is just so fucked up. The way I was thinking was so fucked up. The way my boss behaved is so fucked up. It wasn't about take care of yourself, get off the laptop. It was like, I am impressed with you. I was a consultant working with this firm, and because I worked through this terrible experience, that I still pushed through working, and because I proved to them, my employer, my own life was worth less than my job. They offered me a really nice job with a really nice salary, and I took it because I was that stupid. Fast forward another 2 years is when I woke up from this nightmare. And soon after that, both Stephan and I decided we are done with the corporate world as far as working for someone, especially here in the United States of America. The work culture really is terrible. Fortunately, we were in a financial position to make that change, but most Americans are not in that position. And one of the IT projects that I had, the IT director who was working at this big firm actually here in Los Angeles, he had 5 vacation days in a year. So what do you get here in California? I can't speak for the rest of the United States, but here in California, you typically get 2 weeks vacation when you are a new hire and if you're a full-time hire. And in addition to that, in California, the employers are required to give you 10 days of sick leave. So you have 10 days of vacation time, 10 days of sick leave. In my experience, and from what I've seen other people go through, employers discourage you to take your vacation days, especially in a row. So if you wanted to take a whole week off or entire 2 weeks off, it's highly discouraged. A lot of people will save their vacation days if the company allows them to cash them out at the end of the year, which is such an unhealthy work environment. No matter if you're sick or you're really, really tired and you need a break, like physically you need a break or mentally you need a break, but you're so desperate to make that extra money because you need to pay off some bills that you would save those days and rather cash them out at the end of the month so you can pay those bills. From what I know, in Germany, at the least you get 6 weeks vacation and you get 6 weeks of sick time as well. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but that is the information that I have. And to me, this is a reason why so many people are suffering from stress, mental stress, physical stress with their jobs. And yet the pay scale is really shitty here in the United States compared to, the expenses that people have. And on top of that, this entire culture of hustle culture is so toxic that you are constantly made to believe in order to achieve success, you have to work hard. You have to work your ass off. You have to sacrifice. What do you sacrifice? Your life? And you only have one life to live. And if you're going to sacrifice that for what? to make other people rich? And is there any guarantee that if you work through the prime years of your life and throw all of your personal time away, that you will achieve success? And even if you do, is it really worth it at the end of the day? For some people it might be, and for other people it might not be. This is where the American dream becomes a nightmare, because everyone is chasing after that American dream. They are ingrained since their early childhood to believe that you can be anything you want to be. You can achieve anything you want to achieve as long as you work hard. But what about as long as you do what makes you happy, you will live a fulfilling life? To me, that is a dream. Not working your ass off without any guarantee that you will get anywhere in this world. Which takes me to the second point, which is security. I can only speak for California, but here in California, the employment is at will. Most of the states in the United States of America are at will employers. So that means there is absolutely zero security. The employer can let go of you for any given reason, without any reason. Some people are lucky that they get a severance package when they are laid off. Most people are not lucky. The law in California does not protect the employee. There is this vicious cycle of recycling employees. Everyone is disposable. With my generation and future generations, we are all disposable. My last point is maternity and paternity leave. I personally feel this is an important point to discuss because every year there's so many young people entering into the workforce, and for them starting a family is really terrible here in the United States of America. Here in California, employers are not required to give paid maternity or paternity leave, but they are required to provide 12 weeks of unpaid leave. So now you can imagine how difficult it must be for young parents to have a child here in California. And it's so ridiculous. If you go on the website of California and you read up on paternity and maternity leave, they recommend using your personal time off, how to generate income while you are on maternity leave. Literally, they promote you to take your accrued vacation days during that time, which is insane. When you have a baby, when you have a child, when you go through pregnancy, that is not vacation. Are you, like, seriously, who came up with these laws? It's so archaic. From what I know, in Germany, mothers are entitled to full pay 6 weeks before and 8 weeks after childbirth. Now that is taking care of your employees. And in addition to that, in Germany, you are able to take parental leave, a lengthier leave. But my point is, in Germany, they make it possible to have a child. They make it easier to have a child. It almost feels like it's celebrated. But here in California, it feels like it's the opposite. But now coming back to the shift that is happening in USA, I think it's a great shift that's happening. I'm glad that it's happening. And I really hope that this entire shift that has happened in the last 2 years changes a lot of things for the better here in the USA for people that are employed. I have a good feeling and I hope it really does happen. I would love to hear your comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you